All right, said it's being live streamed.
Hey, Ed, how's your mother?
Holding her own. She's holding her own. She's back at the reservoir now, so
That's a good step.
yeah. Got a full neck collar on and 7 stitches in her head.
Wow.
Did she slip on ice or what was the problem?
In her
She just
room.
fell.
You know, she's stubborn. She doesn't want to use a walker. She's walking around her room without her walker and she fell.
Oh, maybe this will change.
You know,
her mind.
I don't need a walker.
Yeah.
All right,
Don,
it looks
I
like
told-
we're good on.
We all set?
Yes, we are. We are good to go. We're live on both.
At this
Thank
time,
you.
I would like to open up the Park and Rec Board meeting for Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. Can we have a roll call, please? You guys hear me?
Yep.
Melissa, are you on mute?
I see Melissa's name under Ed's face.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
do too.
because I sent him the link during the day. I forwarded it to him. So I had the link at home and it wasn't working. And Sam was like, well, Ed is under your link. So I came to the office so I could be here at the meeting. So
Oh, okay.
I'll take attendance.
right.
Jay Batalico,
Yeah,
Roberta Byron Coledge,
Not
Billy
here.
de Blasio.
Yep.
Eileen,
Here.
Michael Karanian, Anthony Kolowski, Matthew Kolowski, Ed Marchand,
Here.
AKA Melissa Miller on the screen,
Yep.
Nicole Payne, Jenwin Johnson
She's here.
is here on call-in.
Yes.
She's texting Sam, and Don Woods.
Yeah, there.
And then as far as liaisons, Tim Mankey
Here.
and Kim Rada. Okay, Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
thank you. Before we do the Pledge of Allegiance, I would like to wish everyone a Happy New Year. And let's hope this year is better than last year.
Yeah, thanks, Jay.
Yep,
That's for sure.
yep. Can we have the Pledge of Allegiance? The Pledge of Allegiance
Allegiance to
Flag.
to the flag of
Of
the
the
United
United
States.
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under
Under
God,
God,
Indivisible,
indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're gonna bypass the election of officers, right, Bill?
I think someone should make a motion to table it. Someone should second it. It's not debatable. And we can go from there.
Okay. Can I have a
I'll,
motion?
Yeah, Jay, I'll make a motion to table the election of officers.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thanks, Don.
Yep.
Approval of the minutes for October 19th, 2021. Is there any additions or changes? If not,
I just had one question. I
Go ahead.
didn't remember. Is the flea market gonna be charged for using the parking lot? The municipal parking lot?
We haven't in the past.
Yeah, but we never had that fee structure in the past, so I didn't know. That fee structure is only for the pavilion, not for the parking lot?
So far, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I know what the answer is. They have a long-term agreement with the town, like 5 or 10 years.
Mm-hmm,
That they whipped that out and showed me. So
good, yeah.
that's good.
Okay, thank you.
Can I have a motion to pass the minutes?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes for the October 19th, 2021 meeting.
Thank you. Second,
Second.
Second.
Don.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes pass.
Jay, I
Any
think
public-
at this time, you might want to, I think someone, Don wants to add an agenda item. And I think
Okay.
this would be the appropriate place to add an agenda item. If you do, you have a motion to approve it and second it, and it has to be approved by a 2/3 vote.
Okay, Don,
Okay.
what do you got?
So I'd like to make a motion for a discussion. Evidently, there is some talk of charter revision, and I think we should consider us first of shrinking the size of the park board. We can't get a quorum anymore. So I'm thinking the board should go to 7 members. That would give us a 4-member quorum, which we should be able to achieve. And this is just for discussion. I'm not saying everyone's going to be in agreement,
Yeah.
but I think we should talk about it.
You want to go to 7 members total?
Yes. From 11 to 7. So someone has to make a motion for that or second that motion?
You made a motion.
What would be the breakdown? Would that be,
It would be the same, Jay. It would be majority would be 4, minority would be
Okay.
3.
okay. All right,
Unless someone could correct me on that, but I believe that's right.
well, I want to make sure that no one on your side gets kicked out.
I believe it would say that you're right, Don. I think it would be that way.
Thanks.
That
Okay,
happens. We'll never have a quorum.
okay, the motion has been made by Don Woods. Can I have a second? To add it to
Second
the
it.
agenda.
I second it, Ed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, let's add it.
So we discuss now, is that the deal?
It depends what the chairman wants to do. If you want to do it now.
Well,
or-
let's do it right now. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yep, go ahead.
Go ahead, Don.
All right, so if you look back at our history over the past few years, not just last year, but the past few years, it seems to be getting harder and harder, to even get people to be interested in volunteering. Never mind if they finally say, okay, I'll volunteer, but then they don't come to the meetings. We've had more meetings canceled for lack of quorum than I can recall, quite honestly, in my time on the board. This is a new phenomenon. I don't know if it's just this board, but it needs to be addressed. I mean, it's embarrassing. We are constantly canceling meetings for various reasons, and one of the major ones is lack of a quorum. So obviously, we're not getting people that are interested in the board. So let's see if we can shrink it and maybe keep people that are interested in the board and have regular meetings like we used to. That's my opinion anyways.
Is there a reason you want to go not to 9, Don?
All right. Look at tonight. We had to beg Jen to come back. Rest of the members aren't here. So I think, in my opinion, 7 is at least manageable. If we can't get a quorum of 4, then I give up. The board is in serious
I
trouble.
agree with you, Don. Do we have to change the charter or anything on this?
Yeah, I don't, Tim, maybe you might know the answer. I don't think we can do anything.
If I can just jump in here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
charter revision is on the docket for our next meeting, and it's probably going to happen. So what'll happen is that the committee will look at all things in the charter, and this can be one of those things they look at.
Yeah, it should be looked at, in my honest opinion. I mean,
I have the charter open in front of me, and you're the only board that has 11 people,
right.
which is
And
in this day and age, to get 11 volunteers is difficult. I agree.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you, Tim.
So I'll put it on the list of things to talk about.
I always
Yeah,
thought we didn't have a problem, Don.
What?
I never thought that we had a problem finding volunteers as on our side. Like, we always had people that wanted to do it.
Yeah, we do, but it's the same people, and one of these days, we're not gonna be here. So under the current situation, pull us out of the mix. Jay be talking to himself.
Yeah,
You don't have a
right,
board.
you're right.
You don't think there's people that would take our spots?
I have no idea.
I don't.
mean, I think 11 board, in today's day and age is
Yeah, I
difficult.
think 11 is a lot, but I also think there's people that would like to be on here. I don't know. I have a question about opening the charter. Is the whole charter going to be open or just a part of it?
You don't open the part of it. You have to open the whole charter.
To open the whole thing.
I thought the last time when we had charter revision, it was just a piece that was opened.
You open, once it's open, it's open.
Whichever that a whole committee.
I have, well, if Tim is gonna go back and tell the committee or the council or whoever's gonna be working on this, would it make any sense to have the Parks and Rec Board also be the overseer of the cemetery? Most people think they are already, and you guys get all their reports and stuff. And you are in charge ultimately, not of the park guys itself, but you're kind of oversee the Parks Division, which manages the cemetery. I don't know if you want to discuss that either. I don't feel strongly either way, but that's something else to think about if the Charter Revision Committee's knocking around ideas.
How many you got on that?
I believe once we open the charter, I believe, Bill, that Keith will be asking all the department heads for suggestions and
Okay.
input, and then bring that to the committee.
And
Well,
Jen is texting me here. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. She's saying 7 seems reasonable. If they wanted to be on the board, they would be. She's asking what's the average attendance per meeting, and we should use that number as the baseline.
Well, right now, we're struggling to be 6 because that's what it has to be. But there's been several meetings that have been canceled for lack of a quorum that would have had 4. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, but I believe that's an accurate statement.
I think so. It's the only thing is if there's more Democrats that show up. Jay is the only Republican that's really been consistent at every meeting. So if it goes 4-3 and you have 3 Democrats, you still don't.
And
Oh,
you
and
have
Jay, okay. And then Jay, that gives you the 4 out of 7.
You can't
Yeah,
retire, Jay, as long as Republicans are in charge.
yeah.
It would just, can I just make a comment to maybe Tim? I've been involved in volunteer my whole life since 16. And every organization I'm involved in, there's a minimum requirement, not only the effort to volunteer and to be attending meetings and functions, but you have to make 70% of the meetings or
Right.
they attend, whatever it is. But I think we have to have a guideline in place. Maybe we're going to institute this with Park and Rec and it's going to follow suit later on with some other committees, but it's not fair to the people that show up and it's not fair to the people that need our okays. There needs to be a guideline. Hey, you make even 50%, we could probably manage to do better than we have the last couple of years.
And Billy, I agree with you because all the organizations, volunteers that I've been in there is a set attendance.
There are
know, and
guidelines.
if
No
it-
one enforces them. There's guidelines out there and no one enforces them at all.
Well, who do we have to go to get them enforced? I mean,
Yeah.
because we're going to change our whole bylaw of how many people we have on our committee because people aren't enforcing the law basically, or the guideline. So maybe we could enforce the guideline and get people on here that want to be on here. I don't know.
So Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the obligation is 70% of the meetings.
I believe it is, yeah. I haven't looked at the booklet yet recently, but I think it's 70%.
I think so. So here's the other problem with that, Billy. So let's say I'm the guilty party. I'm not attending.
Mhm.
So you kick me off. I don't know if I get kicked off by the board or the council kicks me off. Now what? Who do you replace? Same problem.
Exactly, same problem.
People don't have the spirit anymore of volunteerism. It's just a fact.
It's a fact. I see that in everything I'm involved in. There's fewer and fewer people volunteering. And it's, even if you look at our boards and commissions, it's the same old people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. It's just there needs to be a repercussion. If you don't make a certain number of meetings and attend certain functions, you can't hold office and you can't vote. You can come until you get back in the good. But I mean, I'm
I
sure,
think that-
I'm sure there's people out there that want to volunteer. We just have to find them.
I think Don has a valid point. There's very few people who want to volunteer to do anything. Everybody's in their own little life on their cell phones and their computers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just throwing it out. I'm not telling you my solution is the solution, but it seems to me that 4 is a manageable number in today's world.
Agreed.
I think it can be achieved on regularity. It's embarrassing that we go month after month with no meetings, you know? Yeah, it's just not right.
And I think to the comments about volunteerism in other groups, I mean, look at all this back in 20 years ago, there were real strong Kiwanis clubs, Rotary clubs, Unico clubs, Knights of Columbus clubs, you know, with tons of volunteers, Lions clubs, JCs. Those are all by the wayside. American Legions, VFWs, not to knock any of those groups, but it's crystal clear that people have so many things in their lives going on that their volunteerism, what I read in an article is people don't want to commit a long term of volunteerism, but the baby boomers are willing to volunteer for like a short special event or a short period of time. In 2 weeks, I'm going to do this. And then my commitment's over, and then they walk to something else. So I don't think it's not unusual we're not any different than any other group.
Well, you know, I agree with Dom. It's embarrassing for me that my team is not showing up. You know, and I go back and try to get more people involved. They just don't want to know. I mean, you know, it's a tough situation. And this particular board, I think, is very important compared to some of the other committees, you know, that they have in the charter.
And just other than Billy, look at the age of this group.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest.
Speak for yourself. Come on.
No,
I bet you if someone asked Max Turgeon if you were looking for someone, I bet you he'd say okay. If you need an R. There's people that are interested, I think.
right now you need 7. Right now you need 7 Rs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of their team is the nominations that are supposed to be up next week. Those are all us, no ours, right?
Correct.
Correct. We have no appointments next week.
Right.
Well, actually, Tim, you could make one. We already talked about that. Huh? Are you not going to fill that spot?
That's not my call.
I understand, but I mean, you
Yeah.
you technically have 2 open seats, Cranian and
Right.
and Jen Johnson has retired from
Right.
the board,
Right.
so you have 2 seats.
Right, but I don't make the appointments.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Ask it if you think they're about to make an appointment, or not that you know of.
If you're looking for somebody, if Karanian does step down, I think Max would do it.
I'll float his name at our next meeting, but
Yeah.
again, that's not my call.
Well, who has to do? Is it the chairman of the Republican Town Committee and the Democratic Town Committee?
Correct.
Correct, yeah.
You know, that's the tough thing. I feel I could do it better than him. I'm sorry.
Well, then you should tell him that, Jay.
I did.
Well, having that discussion here doesn't get us very far.
Right. So,
You know, I'll tell it like it is. And that's why I asked for the attendance last meeting. And I wasn't surprised. It was terrible. But a lot of these
Okay.
people, we would love to get on the Park and Rec board. Well, you put them on and you can't find them.
yeah. Even the attendance though, Jay, it didn't show the meetings that were canceled for lack of quorum. It just showed the meetings that we actually had where there was attendance.
Right.
You could add a few more to that, but
You know, I'll try again, Don, you know, but
no one's blaming you, Jay. You're doing your job. You're doing a good job. You know?
it's not that I feel embarrassed because these people wanted to be on the board and then they don't show up.
I have a question. If we keep canceling meetings because of lack of quorum, the attendance policy really can't be put into effect because we don't know who wasn't attending, who wasn't planning on attending. It's not recorded anywhere, is it?
We email.
I understand, but does that go anywhere into a record? Is that recorded anywhere? Is that,
Well-
is it like a,
On
Not
the
to my knowl-
attendance,
Not to my knowledge, Ari.
Yeah, because if you don't have the meeting, there's no.
yeah, there's no record, right?
And I could do that, but I was just trying to be considerate of you guys because most of you have told me, let me know if there's a quorum or not, because I don't want to waste my time. So, but we could do that, Eileen, if you wanted to, but I don't know if that makes it more on burden for you guys.
And other than the people that are here, when I sent out the reminder and to let me know if you plan to attend, the only people that I hear from are the people that are here. Today, I heard from Roberta that she didn't think she could come because she had another meeting. But most of the other people that haven't been in attendance, I don't even get an email saying that they don't plan to come to the meeting.
So why don't we do this, Mr. Chairman? I think we don't have the power anyways to do anything except
Right.
if the commission wanted to make a suggestion to the Charter Revision Committee, and Tim Mankey could bring it to them too. You could, if you all agree it's 7 or 9, whatever it is, then you make a motion that we are in agreement, that we make a suggestion that the committee entertains the idea of reducing the size of the Parks and Recreation Board. That's about as far as you can go with your authority.
Right.
Right.
I think it's smart that I don't care if it's 2 minutes, that we check in on the days that we're supposed to have a meeting. And if there isn't a quorum, we hang up. It's a 2-minute meeting or whatever. And that way we have a record of who's attending and who's not. So if it all hits the fan, we know who needs to go and who doesn't, because otherwise we don't have any record of that.
Eileen,
Yeah.
can we, I don't know if this is possible, but because I have to do it in my other volunteer organizations, I have
Yeah.
to excuse myself. So we
Right.
meet on the third Tuesday, and we have been for 16 years that I know of.
Right.
So why not on Monday, when they send the webinar thing or the minutes, you either call and say you're attending, or you call and excuse yourself. And then instead of waiting and screwing everybody's day up on Tuesday, we know on Monday, that could be our own separate guideline within our group. This is what we're gonna do, so everybody's can plan.
Billy,
Well-
we're doing that right now.
That's
What's-
absolute, Bill, we're doing it right away now. And
Yeah.
these people aren't responding.
I know, but then it's documented,
Yeah.
going forward, we, okay, for the next 6 months, we only had 2 meetings because 6 people couldn't go and
Yeah.
those were the 6 people. And then, it's, because right now, like Eileen said, we don't do anything.
I suppose
I
that's no different than responding to an email from Melissa that says, I can come or I can't come. And if you don't
Right.
respond, well, that means you're not coming. But I
Right.
just don't know if that counts as a,
We could keep track of that.
yeah, I think we need to.
But I think if,
But let me
Hey.
let me give you a dose of reality the way I see it. I could be wrong, but no matter how many meetings in my 40 years of being involved, I don't believe there'll be a town committee chair that kicks off one of their own members from a board, because 1, it would be embarrassing, and 2, they're dying for volunteers. So
But if there's guidelines that are set up that says you have to attend 70% and you don't attend 70%, the chairman isn't kicking you off. You're kicking yourself off.
I
Not
agree.
really. Because it has to go to the council. So think about it. If it's a Democratic controlled council and it's a Republican member, the Democrats might say, okay, let's do it. But then the Republicans say, well, wait a minute, that son of a gun kicked off Jay, and they didn't kick off Marchand. So we're going to kick off Marchand. And even though maybe Marchand might have legitimate reasons, he couldn't make it for whatever reason. So I think that's always been the fear of political retaliation. That's another reason why they don't do it.
yeah,
Believe me, I was on the nominating committee for a long time. and a lot of these things come up. It's not easy. It isn't easy. And I think, again, I think the simplest way is what we said. Volunteerism is in trouble right now. And we have to have this board continue. And the only way I can see it continuing is to make it more manageable in size.
Well, let me ask you this. Tim?
Yes.
Can you go back and, on this charter revision and bring this up?
I will. We're not only you, I mean, this isn't the only board or commission that has having trouble finding people to serve and make that commitment to serve for 2 years. A lot of people say, yeah, I'll serve. I want to be on it. And after a couple of months, they say, yeah, I'll put something else on. You're not the only people that have this problem. So I think we'll look at all those, all the ones that are mentioned in the charter and the membership of those committees. And that's something we would probably have the committee look at.
I think Diane Stone,
What, Bill?
Correct, is
I think Diane Stone was telling me that they haven't had a meeting in over a year, I think, because of lack of quorums.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think a lot of committees are in trouble as far as that's concerned.
Mm.
Now, personally, I think we have too many committees. And,
Yeah.
you know, I thought the council was gonna look at that and start, you know, doing away with some that really are not that important.
But these are listed in the charter, so you have to go open the charter to do that.
Right, absolutely.
So that's what's happening.
But I like Don's idea of cutting it down because I think we've had at least 2 no meetings because of a quorum. Does that ring a bell, Bill, about 2?
I think more, Jay.
it's more, I think it's more than
Is it
that.
more?
Yeah.
So, Jay, do you mind can I call the vote on this so we can just move on?
Yes, let's have a vote on it.
I'd like to call the vote to, I guess it would be a suggestion to the Charter Revision Committee to reduce the number of Parks and Rec members from 11 to 7.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Sam, how did Jen White Johnson?
Jen said aye.
okay.
She agrees in favor.
She's a secret voter.
Ask her if she'll reconsider staying on.
Well, she did say a couple texts ago. Now I feel bad that I decided not to come back.
I know.
She'd like to change to the Republican Party.
Dom, I have a question, and maybe for Tim. If they decide to change it to 7-4, who are they gonna kick off? Or who does it?
I don't know. There's some mechanism to do that. For this purpose, for our purposes, what does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, right, well, you're right, but someone's gotta do it.
Yeah.
Right, but there'll be there's a plan, I'm sure that goes into effect to take care of all those things.
I think they have a
Yeah.
scientific, I think there's a scientific thing. I think they do rock, scissors, paper. No.
Jen did text me and said she, sure, I will become an R. She has been one before. She does go back and forth.
Yeah.
All right.
Flip flop.
She's flexible.
She's a committed member, you know?
There you
Whatever.
go.
That's out of our hands, like Tim says. None of us here has any say in that.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Tim, it's, the ball's in your court, I guess.
Okay, I made notes.
Okay,
I will let the town manager know also that this vote took place so that he has it on his administrative lineup too.
good. That sounds good. Do we have any public participation? If not, let's get into correspondence. A letter from Newington Bocce Players Club.
Yep, just we had Donna Morgan was organized an adult bocce court at league in Beacon Park, the new bocce courts that we built. So everybody seemed to like it. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
And we're addressing her concerns.
And then there was a letter from Sophie Glenn.
That one I forgot what it was about.
Let's see.
Melissa, do you remember?
Yeah, so that she was thanking you for the presentation that you did at the senior center.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
That's right.
then,
Yeah.
she did mention that when you were doing your presentation, you neglected to announce about the land, of the former Hartford Hospital property
Yeah.
is going to be a dog park for Newington
Yeah.
residents.
Yeah, at the time, it wasn't really official, so I didn't think I should do it, but it's becoming more and more official.
Okay, the next thing is a letter of thank you from Nutmeg Holiday Basketball Festival.
Yep, we had, I think, over 50 basketball teams over 2 days of the Christmas vacation, Monday and Tuesday. It was just wonderful to be able to see that many kids from all over Connecticut and Rhode Island and Massachusetts. And the good news is Don King's team from Newington won the whole tournament in his category. So we're really proud of the Newington kids that participated. There were about 4 to 6 teams from Newington.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Anything on the summary report, Bill, you want to talk about?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
Bill,
Board
I
report.
have a question.
Go ahead.
Did they ever figure out who broke into the town garage?
You mean the Parks and Rec garage?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
The police have a very good suspect. They grabbed a few fingerprints off of a screwdriver that was being used to jerry-rig the gator. So
Mhm.
I can't say in public, but the police are doing a great job finding out.
Mhm.
Any questions on the tree warden's report? Okay, the next item is old business. Any old business?
No, not at this time, Jay.
Okay, let's go on to the new business then. And that will be the board meeting dates and times for 2022.
Yep, this is by charter. We have to tell the town clerk and notify him. And I believe Melissa did already. So this would be a confirmation of that. I just assumed we would go with the same.
I'll
Okay,
make a
so-
motion to approve the Parks and Recreation Board meeting dates for 2022 as listed in the, our agenda.
Thank you, Mrs.
Second.
Francolino. Okay,
Seconded
All
by
in
Billy de
favor?
Blasio.
There she is. Hi,
Aye.
Jen.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
They opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, the next one is winter program guide.
Yep, the winter program was given to you, and as we do every quarter, this is we look for an approval by the commission for programming, for fees charged, and information that people are looking for. So there's hundreds of programs there, and we're excited to open up again.
Okay, we have a motion on that. Would someone like to read it?
Is there a motion?
Do we need a
Yeah.
motion?
I'll
The
make a
winter
motion.
program guide.
I'll make a motion to approve the winter program for 2022 as published.
Thank you, Don.
Second.
All in
that
favor?
Ed?
Second.
Was that Ed who seconded?
Ed, yes.
Thank
All
you.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next is the Challenger Youth League.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Go ahead.
the Challenger League is a group of kids with disabilities and young people with disabilities that parents help loosely organize. And they've been playing in the gymnasiums at the schools and in our the old Mortenson Community Center. And when I did some research, I found out that some of the kids are from out of town because they need more kids so that they can field the full team, which I don't have a problem with that at all. Oftentimes that happens with kids with disabilities in other towns. But they weren't officially under the umbrella of Parks and Recreation. And I talked with Jeff Barron and I talked with a few people, and in an effort to be consistent with our umbrella plan of having youth sports and children's groups under us so that they get the better rate of when we reserve the gyms for them, I just thought we would make it official, unless there's some reason that we don't know about that you would be against it. But I think this kind of ties up some of the loose strings that we've been doing for over 20 years.
Is this an insurance issue, Bill?
It's a little bit. It's more of a rental fee. The custodial fee is cheaper. We only pay for custodial fees when we use the schools versus they have a pretty hefty rental fee that they add to people that aren't in our umbrella. And also the town's insurance does umbrella them in case they get hurt playing street hockey or basketball or something like that.
Okay.
They play Little League. I'm sorry.
What's the difference between this and Special Olympics and Unified Sports?
Not much. Not that I can tell.
They're 3 different programs.
Yeah.
And are Unified Sports and Special Olympics covered under Parks and Recreation?
I believe they are.
Okay,
They are.
makes sense.
Little League has a Challenger program, but that's covered by
Little League insurance.
Little League as far as insurance.
Right.
And
Jay,
some of those kids are from out of town too.
yeah, Jay, that's the exact same group that does the Little League in the outside. When they started coming inside, they started playing at the Senior Disabled Center when I was on that commission.
Okay.
So we never officially dropped it under Parks and Recreations. That's what we're trying to do tonight.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's probably been going on for more than 30 years now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, the next item, any more questions on that?
Well,
We need
you
to
should have
make
a
a
motion.
I'll read the motion. I'd like to make a motion to add the Challenger Youth League to the Newington Parks and Recreation Department's umbrella of youth sports organizations. This will entitle them to Town of Newington insurance as well as reduced school rental fees.
Can I have a second?
Second by Billy.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, everyone.
I didn't have that one. Okay. Next one is CIP budget.
Okay, today we got called into a CIP budget meeting with Keith, Janet, and Lisa. And things, I gave you what I thought at the time I sent that out was the CIP budget. We're probably, with our discussions with the town manager, we're probably going to put off the 333,000 of fixing the irrigation system at the high school one more year. I believe that we can fix the pipes, the broken pipes and the broken sprinkler heads and any other leaks that we have for another year in an effort to try to be team players. They're trying to reduce that CIP to a certain number. And that was a big chunk. So it's not like I agreed to it. I supported it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's the only change that I think, to my knowledge, at this time that happened today. And otherwise than that, I wanted you to look at it and hopefully endorse it. It's got a lot of good things on there. It also has, I'll bring to your attention, I know Billy's interested, and all of you are interested, but we have 3 of the light poles up at Legends, and we need the CIP to second half the cost for July 1st to finish the three more light poles. Everything is done. Underground work is done. The computer system is done. It's really beautiful. We also added a parking light at the football field so that the Little League, when they get out, they'll have a big giant light LED on the parking lot. And once the 3 other poles are put up at Legends on what they call light post B1, we'll have another giant light and light up the back parking lot of Legends. And that will really complete a total revamp of Legends Field, from every single field including the skate park, the pavilions, the baseball fields, et cetera. So very happy about that. And the town manager's in full support of it. So it's good.
Bill, I have a question on the Newington High School athletic field irrigation.
Yep.
Is that the soccer fields? Is that the football field? What is it?
It looks like it's almost $1 million to do everything. So
Yeah.
we divided it up into 3 years, 333,000. I was going to start with the 4 soccer fields on the north of the high school. The
Okay,
second year, I would do the 2 softball fields in the field hockey field. And the third year, I would do the stadium and the practice football field and lacrosse fields, knowing full well that there's been a push by the Board of Education and others to put in a not field turf, but
turf football field.
the stadium. So I was going to wait to the last possible minute to fix that irrigation in case they do get lucky and put in a field turf in that field.
Okay,
Bill,
Hey,
where
Bill.
does Mill and Churchill fit into this plan here? Mill and or
Pools?
Churchill?
Are you talking about pools?
Yes,
Yeah, no, they don't fit in at all. Pools over anything over 975,000 has to go to a referendum.
Right.
The town manager is interested in trying to resurrect something to bring to bring a solution to to the pools. So I suspect he's going to get together with the town council with some kind of committee or talk to the mayor and do something to address the serious grave problems that we have. They put $1 million for each pool in the facility director's budget. I believe they reduced it to 500,000. And I suggested that would be a waste of money to put 500 grand. It wouldn't do enough to make that worthwhile. They'll be throwing good money after bad. So I think he's going to take a peek at that in the future.
so the $1 million over 5 years for parks, pools, playgrounds and green spaces is just
That's
general.
not a million. That's not $1 million. That's 200,000 each year.
Well, it says $1 million 5-year project.
Right. So 200,000 times 5 is
Right.
$1 million.
Yes, I get
Yeah,
that. So that money, the 200,000 each year is just for general upkeep?
It's for playgrounds and broken slides, vandalism, patching of
Yeah, I got
pools.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's not a penny left in it. And we're only halfway through the year. And I think there's less than $5,000 or $10,000 in that
it doesn't seem
200,000.
like enough money. Mm.
It really isn't. It really isn't. Whatever. It is what it is. No, but that wouldn't build a new pool.
No, clearly not.
oh,
No.
definitely not.
I keep buying the lottery tickets. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I know.
So, hey, Bill,
Yes.
the synthetic turf field, I know we keep plugging a little bit of money aside for that. Is the money that's going in going to eventually be sufficient to replace the turf when that time comes? And how much more time before that day comes?
Okay, so that answer is no. I believe there's 150,000 roughly in there. We're asking for 50,000 more, so that get us to 200,000. And I told Keith and Janet today that the real number I got from Field Turf is 575,000 to replace the grass on top with the sand and the rubber. So it'll be one, and it's guaranteed for 8 years, and this is the 12th year of it. I put $10,000 a year in maintenance. I bring Field Turf from Texas in twice a year. They sew up the rips. They reline some of the pulled up lines that are ripped off, and they take out 9 bags of garbage, like in the sand, like Band-Aids, nickels, dimes, bobby pins. It's amazing to find 9 giant garbage bags of stuff in that field. So it's coming to the end. It's 12 years. Can we get 15 out of it? I don't know. We hope so, but we'll be at probably maybe 253. We might have half of it.
I know that some of the bigger kids are complaining that they get shin splints on there because it's hard now. Doesn't have that cushion that it used to.
I don't know if that's true or not because I do a G max test every year when I redo it. That's part of my maintenance plan so that they drop a ball or something like a ball from 6 feet in the air and they measure the rebound. So you have to do that for insurance purposes. So they might be complaining that it's not as fluffy as it was day one, but it certainly meets the standards.
So Bill, 23, 24 is year 14 for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Bill,
Yes.
are we still having Bashan play football there?
The last I heard, yes, he did play last season, but the last I heard on Facebook, he said he was disbanding the team, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Is that the only adult football team on that field?
No, we have had a team from Meriden once, I think, or twice, and one from Hartford, one from New Hampshire. So we've had a few others.
Well, what I'm getting at is, are they damaging the field quicker with adults?
Yeah, it would be hard to say that. I don't think there's too much of a difference between a high school kid and an adult. I think if you put little 7-year-olds in sneakers with no cleats, I think that would be a lot less of a pounding.
Well, you got to remember that turf field was only for high school and nothing above that. So that's why I asked that question.
Yeah. You know what ruins the grass? This is probably not a lot of people know this, but what ruins natural grass or synthetic turf the most is a marching band. So it's yeah, they beat the heck out of it because they're banging, bang, 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 bang,
Yes,
and they stay in one place and they stay on one line. So interesting. But anyways, yeah, I don't think a 4, 5, 6 games of adults is going to make much of a difference on the maintenance.
Okay. We have a motion for capital improvement. Someone want to read it, please?
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
I'll
Jen?
make a, yep. I found a way to down to Zoom, so
Good.
thanks to Sam. Make a motion to approve the capital improvement project proposal presented to the town manager and the finance department.
Second,
Second, done.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, the next is the Mobile Veteran Memorial.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, this is a little bit controversial. There was 2 people that took offense to the veterans trailer this year and wrote editorials. Some of you might have seen them in the newspaper and on Facebook. Their opinion was that we should honor every veteran and that they shouldn't have to pay. And the one particular guy said he doesn't pay for his own birthday cake or something like that. I tried to reach out to both of them. I tried to talk to them. We even had a person come forward and say, I read the editorial, I would gladly pay the $30 and sponsor the person. I went out and contacted the guy and he said, no way, don't put my name on there. I don't care. I don't take freebies. So, yeah. So, 130, 200 people, veterans have loved it. We had tremendous positive comments about it. It traveled a lot of places. It's been everywhere. We just had those 2, and those 2 people did a pretty good job at knocking it in Facebook and in the newspaper. So before I went and tried to get another sponsor for $5,000, I wanted to make sure the commission wanted me to do that, or do you want to give it up and let it die a slow death and make this the last year?
I
Is the
would not
cost
give
of
that up, though.
upkeep- Is the cost of upkeep $5,000?
No, what I tried to do was I put a plan together over 3 to 5 years to pay for the trailer that I bought. for it. The trailer was over 10 grand, and the wood, the rug, the flags, all that stuff was pretty expensive. So in the Jeff Gambino signs, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's 9 or 10 signs, and those are about 200 a piece. So those were like 2,000. So
Well, let me
Hey,
ask
Phil,
you this. How many names do we have on there?
I think off the top of my head it was like between 130 and 200.
Well, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't let two people bury this program.
I'm tired of bowing to these couple people complaining. I'm
Yeah.
totally against getting that program up.
I agree with
Bow
Jay
to
on
these
that.
Yeah.
people complain about stuff. Plain English, screw them.
Yeah. And the other
You
thing
know-
is, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. It's
You try to
also,
do a good thing and you're going to get criticized. Let's face it.
right. And
But for
just so
two
everyone,
people, no way.
yeah, just so everyone knows, if for instance, the all night graduation party parents, they sold names for $30, we gave them half of the money, $15. American Legion sold some names, we gave them half. And then all the rest of the money went to the fireworks for the Life Being an Extravaganza. So, I mean, a lot of people benefit by it, and a lot of people loved it. We brought it to the Memorial Day services at the Firehouse, Firehouse 1. We had it at Firehouse on Richard Street. I don't know what number it is. We brought it in the past to Patterson and John Wallace School on Veterans Day. And we did that tour, 25-mile tour all around town during COVID. So, I think it has tremendous benefit, but I'm not going to force it on anybody. If, I wanted to make sure you guys were, it wasn't just Bill DeMayo making the decision. That's what. So
I'm just thinking about the 120, 140 other people that enjoy
Right.
sponsoring.
Yeah.
And
I think I'm the odd man out here. I think when this happened to begin with, I was all for getting sponsors to pay for this, but I think to raise money for the fireworks on the backs of people who have given their lives for our country is, it's not something that we should be doing, especially to be paying to keep your name up there. I think we could ask for sponsors and raise money a different way, but to ask people who have lost family members in a war, to pay to be recognized, I just think there's a better way around it. I
Okay.
like the idea. I like the float. I like that
Yeah.
it's around town. I like that we take the time to recognize the veterans. I just don't like how it's paid for, because really the money that we're raising is not to pay for the float. The money we're raising is to pay for the extravaganza. So there's a little disconnect there, I think.
well, it's if I
everything
can respond to that, it's both. The answer is both. I have to buy the flags. Like one guy, the Coast Guard flag flew off at the firehouse, and a guy mowed it over in the neighborhood, so I had to rebuy that. And so things happen like that, but it's not on the backs of the veterans. For instance, there's wives that have come in and bought it in honor of their husbands. I do it in honor of my father who's passed away. So it's not on my father's back who was in the service. It's not on my uncle's back. It's not on my grandfather's back. It's not on my nephew's back. I paid for it because I want to honor them. It's no different than buying a brick at a sidewalk in having, you buy a brick in honor, or it's no different than at the Rotary Pavilion when people honor people up at those 150 signs up there for $150. So I see your point, Eileen, but I just want to make sure there's another side to that whole story.
Yeah.
I would bet that there's no veterans that paid for it themselves.
No, they're dead, most of them.
Yeah.
They didn't pay
Well-
for it, they're dead. That's the difference between honoring someone who's alive and dead. Somebody, their family who already gave a huge sacrifice is paying. That's where I get a little like, I don't know if that's good.
Well, like my brother-in-law, I paid $30 for Bob Flinchbaugh. He's in the Army. He's
Yeah.
alive and serving. My nephew is in the Navy, so he's alive. He's 30 years old, and I pay for him. So I don't know. I don't know if it's on the backs of anybody really. I don't know if that's a fair statement.
I supported it. I bought one for my brother who is deceased. I bought one for my father who is deceased. And I bought one for myself. And I was proud to do it, quite frankly. I think it's a very good way of honoring the veterans in town, just live or dead. And it's also a good thing to support the town's community efforts. I mean, if the high school wants to sell them and they want to make a couple dollars, I think if it was advertised more clearly, maybe, I think that's where some of the maybe confusion came, but I don't see it as a dishonor. I see it as an honor, quite frankly. And I was proud to spend the money, and I'll do it every year that it's available to do so. But to
I don't
end
think
it,
I don't mean to say that it's dishonorable. I just would like to find another way to fund it. That's all.
okay.
Any more discussion on this? Okay, Don, you want to read the motion?
Sure. I make a motion to accept or deny. Well, actually, we're going to do two motions, Bill?
No, I put accept or deny because I wasn't sure how you guys wanted to do this. So you have to pick one.
I'm going to go with accept. I'll make a motion to accept the recruitment of sponsors, construction, and continuation of the Veterans Memorial Trailer fundraising program for the year 2022.
Have a second?
This isn't for the record. If it goes down, well, then we'll do the other one. But
Can I have a second?
I seconded that.
Okay.
I'm a little confused. This means to have sponsors, not to have the people pay?
No.
Just the way it is.
Continue.
just the way it is. But everybody is a sponsor. If I buy three plaques, I'm in essence putting the plaques up in memory of whoever I want, and part of my contribution is going to sponsor the extravaganza.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
That would be me.
Okay. Motion passes. Next one is the Water Lantern Festival, September 10th, 2022.
Okay, so the Water Lantern is another successful year we came off of, and they, I believe they want to come back again September 10th, as long as they had difficulty getting to the edge of the pond. So in cooperation with that, I told them that the town manager and the Parks and Rec administration, and you'll see it later in your agenda, is very adamant about cleaning up the edge of the pond. And we have an agreement with the Wetlands Commission that we went to. We have a 5-year general permit 1 for maintenance. So you'll probably see it Friday. We're starting to tag the trees that we want to keep and the good stuff, and we want to get rid of the bad stuff, but we'll address that later in the agenda. But hopefully, if that passes, I think the Water Lantern people, they want to come back.
That's great.
Any other questions for Billy? Mr. DeBlasio, you want to read the motion, please?
Sure. Make a motion, we approve the Water Lantern Festival at Mill Pond Park on September 10th, 2022, with the details to be negotiated by the superintendent and to be approved by the department to apply for a state liquor permit and sell refreshments at the event.
I'll second. I'll second.
Jen,
Didn't even.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next item, potential girls' youth lacrosse tournament at the high
If you-
school, June 23rd and 24th, 2022.
So as you remember, Mr. Chairman, the Memorial Day weekend was pouring rain and about 20 degrees. Couldn't be worse weather, but Corrigan Sports out of, I think, Maryland came here and had our first national youth tournament. And they went to the NCAA championships in East Hartford as part of their registration form. As you know, you approved us negotiating the next one for Memorial Day. That would be the last one because the NCAA is moving out of East Hartford every 2 years. They move, but they want to negotiate coming here for a girls tournament in June, which would be nothing but another windfall for us. So I strongly recommend you allow me to keep negotiating it and making another either New England or semi-national girls tournament to come to Newington again.
Bill, the wrap-up tournament is the weekend before that, right?
That is correct.
So are the fields going to be able to handle that much traffic in 2 weekends in a row?
We think so, unless we get a deluge of rain as that happened once during the,
Yeah.
some years ago.
Okay.
Someone want to read the motion, please? Anyone?
I'll read the motion. I'll make a
Thank you,
motion
Jen.
to authorize the superintendent of Newington Parks and Rec to continue negotiation with Corrigan Sports to host a girls' youth lacrosse tournament at Newington High School on June 23rd to 24th, 2022.
Second.
Second,
I'll second it, Don.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And just for your record, I can't think of, Gatos, Mike Gatos. Mike Gatos is the president of youth lacrosse, and he works with us, and they provide, the Corrigan Sports pays a lot of youth lacrosse people to keep score, to referee, to do running and all kinds of stuff. So it's a win. And also it follows the town manager's thinking of economic development, bringing people here from out of town, staying in hotels, buying food and buying gas and et cetera, et cetera. So thank you for that support.
Okay, the next one, Beachland Wood Park Playground.
So the CIP program, the town manager is interested in each year trying to redo a neighborhood park. So Beechwood was our next plan. I can't see this, but I don't know if Sam has pictures of it up on the
Yep.
screen or not.
Yeah,
I have the pictures of, I'm gonna have 4 I'm gonna go through.
Okay, so we have a design. We've worked for the last couple of months with the designer of the playground company, Landscape Structures. This one has a sports theme. The other one had an insect theme. This is going to sports. And it also, the other one had bocce courts. This one's going to have permanent concrete cornhole setup. So it's got a Don's favorite sport. So Don and his grandfather. So anyways, we think it's a really attractive, handicap accessible design. We think it'll have a real big boost to that neighborhood. I think hundreds and hundreds of households will be able to use it or bring their grandchildren to use it. And we're working with Public Works to do a handicap accessible bump out for drop off for vans. And we also have one handicap parking space in the plan. So it's in a handicap accessible path from those spots to the playground. For those of you who don't know, we recoated and resurface cracked the basketball court. So that got a little facelift. So Beechwood Park will have a nice neighborhood feel to it. So hopefully you will endorse that and we can move forward in July 1st if the council approves the CIP program.
Yeah, when I was a kid, that was my neighborhood park, and it never quite looked like that. So that's a pretty significant improvement. Just a question: is the pond still there, Bill, or is it gone? You
know how we call it eutrophication, big word,
Yeah.
but it's where the pond becomes marshy. The sun grows through it. I did when I was a kid. I used to ice skate there every day.
Me too.
Yeah, that was a fun time. But no, that pond is kind of not a pond anymore.
Oh, that's too bad.
It is too bad.
Don, you want to take a shot at this motion?
Yeah. Sure. I make a motion to accept the designs and construction of the new handicap accessible Beechwood Park playground.
Second it, Ed.
Okay, Ed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I don't know if you guys have gone by Beacon Park anytime, but every time I drive by there's kids on that playground. It's just It's lovely. And I want to let you know, I did promise you 4 chess and checker tables, and they were installed a couple weeks ago. So that project is now complete over there, and really getting a ton of use. So it's really nice.
Good. The next item is maintenance and clearing of brush around Mill Pond Water's Edge.
Yeah, I probably should have had this before we voted on the water lantern, but I just wanted to keep you guys posted and make sure you endorse the idea. Some years ago, before my time, someone thought that it was a great idea to plant around the edge of the park, the pond, and that would get rid of the geese. As we all know, that doesn't do that. And when we were younger, 40 years ago, we used to mow right to the edge of the pond, and it was a beautiful grass entrance to the area. That's when it was easy for children's fishing derbies, and it was easy for water lanterns, and it was easy for boating. And we also, some of you remember back in the first days, we even did at the extravaganza, we did those paddle boats. So this is an effort to try to take back the pond. The town manager is fully endorses this, and it's a high priority for him, and I fully endorse it and agree with him. And I hope that you endorse it, and we can move forward. I'm trying to hit the pond while it's frozen. So my thoughts are, if we can take our arm, we have this arm that sticks out of our tractor. We could do the edges, and anything that gets shot into the water, it'll land on top of the ice. It'll be easy for us to rake it up and get rid of it, as opposed to dropping all the cut pieces into the water.
Mhm.
Any questions of Bill on this?
No, I remember when we put those plantings around the pond, the logic to it was evidently geese supposedly like to fly into the pond.
Yeah.
But they prefer to walk out of it. Now, I'm not really sure how they could walk through that jungle of mess, but that's how it was recommended to us, and that's how it got passed. And the only thing I would say, Bill, is when you do this, maybe if you get into a situation where there's something questionable, it might be easier to ask forgiveness and just do what looks best for the overall aesthetics of the pond.
I can assure you, we will be going by all the wetlands rules and regulations. But thank you for that endorsement. I fully understand what you're saying.
Don, you want to take a shot at that motion?
Sure. I make a motion to accept the proposal to maintain the unsightly growth of brush around Mill Pond's water. I'm sorry, one more time. Around Mill Pond's water's edge.
Second?
Okay, Billy.
Okay, Bill, thanks. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Delivery ride rental fee waiver request.
Yeah, this comes up every year. We endorse it. It's good for Newington. We didn't realize that Pam lived out of town. I just made an assumption when I first got here. She lived in Newington. So the fee is, it's expensive. It's like $710, but that's double the price for out of towners. But easily, I wouldn't worry about that, because easily she could get someone that lives in Newington to rent the 3 pavilions if you so desired. So just want to bring it to your attention. We endorse the idea and go from there.
Any questions?
No.
Jen, you want to take a shot?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to authorize the Newington Parks and Recreation Department to waive the $710 non-resident facility rental fee for 3 pavilion rentals at Churchill Park on Sunday, September 18th, 2022 for the Lavery Memorial Ride.
Second.
Thank you, Arlene. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Oh, Mrs. Francolino, you're up next with this tentative 150th anniversary celebration, June 9th, 2022.
As you can imagine, we've been having a difficult time planning events for the 150th anniversary because of COVID. And one of the things that has been missing is a family event. So as part of the 9th, 10th, and 11th weekend of the Food Truck Friday and the Motorcycle Madness, we'd like to tag on to that and plan of some sort of family type day where, you know, we could get together as a community. Things are really rough and in the works, but we're getting there. It's just really been really hard to plan because of COVID. So
Yeah,
that's where we are now.
and if I could add in there, the Parks and Recreation Department is fully capable of planning an event and having the 150th support it at whatever level they want to. If they want to do inflatables from the National Guard, if they want to pay for a juggler or whatever they want to do, we're going to be open to it. The thing is, we're 6 months to a year ahead of time planning, and I've got to get our staff kind of keyed up. So I didn't think a St. Patrick's Day party in the park would work this time because I think they're going to be able to do the parade and everything this year. So I thought it would be a little hokey to do it, 2 of them. So the thought was, hey, if we make it 150th anniversary, how great would that be for Newington? And then the next year we'll have to think of another theme or another idea. It could be veterans. It could be something else.
Any
I
other
like the
questions?
idea, Bill.
Go ahead, Jen.
No, I said I like the idea.
Yeah, I'm
To do
thinking
something
of
different every year.
having, I think it's patriotic. I can also see like either 150 cupcakes or 150th cake celebration with candles. I think we can do a lot of fun stuff with the anniversary birthday party theme. We'll have a band, we'll have music just like we do on Thursday nights anyway. So it won't cost much money for the committee. If anything, it might not cost a penny. We'll just make it work. So that's kind of, and we'll work with Eileen and the committee as we go through, and if we keep an open line of communication, I think we'll be able to make this thing something special for Newington.
Bill, we had talked about the possibility of a fishing derby. But that would have to be on a Saturday morning. Am I correct? It couldn't be on an afternoon, like a Thursday afternoon or anything, right? Oh, June 9th, we might be out of school.
No, you could. I mean, I don't think there's anything magic about Saturday morning.
All right,
The
Yeah.
fish
I don't know.
bite better in the morning.
yeah.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been asking around to see if there's a good place to get fish and how much it would cost, but I haven't had much luck.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I can find out for you tomorrow.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
Mrs. Francolino, you want to read the motion, please?
Is there a motion there? Sure. To approve the tentative 150th anniversary celebration in cooperation with the 150th committee on June 9th, 2022 at Mill Pond Park, and to approve the department staff to apply for a state liquor permit to sell refreshments at the event.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if you wouldn't mind, Eileen, would you consider taking the word out tentative? Because now I only put that in because I wasn't sure how you guys were leaning.
I'm not 100% sure, but we could take tentative out. That's not a problem.
Okay. If you're not 100%, that's fine.
Well, we haven't had a board meeting since then, so I can't, I don't have any doubt that it's gonna be a problem. We just haven't had a
Okay.
formal vote.
Okay, now then keep it. Well,
Okay,
I'll tell you what, then.
Table
How about if we just say as a Parks and Recreation, they're gonna do it, and then if the 150th wants to get involved, they can. How about that, or something? I don't know.
I'd prefer not.
Yeah, okay.
I think that somebody's gonna get upset with getting her toes stepped on like that.
Yeah.
so,
I got you.
mhm.
Can I have a second?
Are we doing it? Hold on. Okay, hold
Yes.
on. Are we voting on it, Bill, or are we tabling it?
Well, if she keeps it, we're booking the bands now. So, when's the,
February. I don't have a calendar on me.
Can I just interrupt for one quick sec?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to sign off, so just want to don't just disappear here. So I need to sign off on another commitment.
Okay,
Okay,
Right.
see you guys.
Thanks, Tim.
thanks for coming.
Thanks,
Good evening.
Tim.
See ya.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Tim.
Well, let's put it this way. Is it a big deal if Parks and Recreation does it one way or the other? If they're in or if they're not in?
I don't really know how to answer that. I would expect there would be some pushback from my committee, but then others would be grateful. So I can't answer that. I don't know.
Okay, so
Table it.
what's that?
We should table it then. I mean, if you don't want to commit, right, Eileen?
I can't because I can't speak for the committee. We haven't voted on it. You know what I mean? I personally think it's fine, but we haven't had a meeting since then to vote on the idea. So it's kind of hard for me to say, yeah, the committee's behind this when we haven't had a meeting to vote on it.
How about you just said then to approve the 150th anniversary celebration and cooperate, in other words, just reserve the date so Bill could book bands, or you think that's too much of a risk too?
Well, Bill's gonna book a band whether we're in or out.
We're
You
gonna
know,
do it.
Because
Yeah.
it's a concert, it's a Thursday concert night, so it's gonna
Well-
happen either way.
So we could wait to vote on it because Bill doesn't need us to approve this to schedule or to plan anything for that night, right? So we could
yeah.
table it.
Well, I do need to move on the state liquor permit because that
Yeah.
takes forever.
Oh,
Yeah.
Liquor permit.
Well, you know what? We
We
could
just-
call it some, if they don't want to do it, then we could do another theme. We could come up with,
Okay.
okay, well, let's keep it, I guess the word, if you feel comfortable with tentative, then let's do tentative. And if we have to, and say they don't want to do it for some reason, we could change it to Veterans Day celebration or Community Day or something like that. So I think we can, as long as we can move forward with the entertainment and the liquor permit, we want to set aside Thursday, Friday, Saturday for food trucks. We want to get the word out for food trucks. We want to get, the same stuff that we did at St. Patrick's Day party in the park, but with a different twist to it.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, let's go with tentative and let's see
Okay.
how it all shakes.
Nationality Day.
And we did come up with an idea. That's funny you say that, Bill. We came up with the idea in the office of International Day.
Or yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you could do that too. Do you guys agree that St. Patrick's Day wouldn't work, right, this year if they're going to have it?
They're gonna have the parade. Doesn't make sense. No.
Yeah. So, okay.
Why don't you go with Italian Day?
Ooh, whoa, yikes.
I think they got plenty extra statues of Christopher Columbus somewhere,
Yikes. Well, we could even have Patriotic Day. We could, celebrate patriotism or something like that.
hey, you guys can celebrate my 50th birthday.
There you
There you
go.
go.
I'm not that old.
Holy cow. Okay.
You're gonna have to
Never
show us
forget.
your,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Jedward
have to show us
Johnson
your
Day.
driver's license.
Yeah, you can make it Jim Johnson Day.
Yeah, I
I
like it.
second that.
Oh, I like it very much. And we'll throw you out with a parachute.
And we can auction the day off.
Yeah, there you go.
Highest bidder gets the day in their name.
Oh, there you go. There's another idea, Billy. You're full of them today.
I thought you were going to auction a date with me.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I don't know if your husband would appreciate that.
Don't give them any ideas.
Mike doesn't need to know.
I guess I'm bidding then.
Oh man. Okay, well, we have enough ideas, so it doesn't matter. Whatever.
Here we go.
Let's get out of this, Jay. Let's get out of this.
What do you want to do? I need a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All right.
Bye.
Opposed? That one passes.
So that was for
What?
tentative Jen Wen Johnson Day. Okay.
Yeah.
Melissa,
birthday.
make that, Melissa, make that official in the minutes.
Okay.
Okay, I guess the next thing is the food truck for
Yeah.
June 10th, a day
That
later.
was- Yep, that was your guys' idea, and it was a wonderful one. And we want to do it again because people liked it.
Any more questions on the food truck? Ed, you want to take a shot at the motion?
I make a motion to make a Jen Wen Johnson food truck. Sorry. To make a motion to host a food truck Friday on June 10th, 2022 at Mill Pond Park, and sponsors to be forthcoming. Also to approve the staff to apply for a state liquor permit to sell refreshments at the event.
Second?
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay, Jen.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Well, you're gonna have a lot of liquor permits, Billy.
You get 12 a year.
Motorcycle Madness, June 11th, following day, 2022.
Yep, same exact thing as last year. It worked. We moved it to a Saturday. We didn't see any big changes, but we thought it was pretty nice to go 3 days in a row. So we'll try it again. It's hard to evaluate anything during COVID. You really don't know what the heck's
Yeah.
the truth. You just don't know what the real truth is.
Okay, any questions on the motorcycle mess? Billy, you want to
Yep.
give us a shot at that?
Yep, I make a motion to approve the hosting of Motorcycle Madness on June 11th, 2022 at Mill Pond Park. Sponsors to be forthcoming. Also to approve the staff to apply for a state liquor permit to sell refreshments at the event.
Second,
Second, Ed.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Billy, you're gonna have a lot of liquor licenses. You gonna open
Yeah.
a business, a package store up or what?
Well, we've been lucky to get the wine donated. So when you sell wine, it's pure profit for us. So it's a good fundraiser. That's for sure.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the Life Being It state liquor license again. July 13th to the 16th, 2022. Any questions?
Bring it on.
Billy de Blasio's favorite ice job.
Ice it up.
Jen, you want to give it a shot?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to approve the Parks and Rec staff to apply for a state liquor permit for the Life Be In It extravaganza from Wednesday, July 13th, 2022 through Saturday, July 16th, 2022 to sell refreshments at the event.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Well, let's see. That must be it for liquor license, Bill.
Oh,
They know you down there or what? State?
They know Joe Harvey. He does it.
Beacon Park Playground grand opening.
Yeah, just wanted
Wonderful
a lot of you guys came. It was really successful. It was fun, and people enjoyed it.
Yep.
The mayor showed up, and town manager, and variety of council people and commissioners. So it was nice.
Okay, next item is the Night of Lights.
Another great
The
great
biggie.
night. Couldn't say enough good about the staff. Everybody cooperated. We wrote an editorial in the paper trying to recognize everyone that was involved. It took a team effort, but thousands of people showed up, and it was a ton of fun, and the weather was perfect.
Great. Next item is the budget update.
Yeah, the budget, like I told you, we met today impromptu, and it was a zero increase, really. I think we went up $18,000 in the Parks Division, and not including salaries. And just to let you know, just to give you some statistics here, the enterprise budget is over $2 million now for the recreation side of things. So when people say, you're running a business, we're running a business. The parks budget is 1.9 million, and then you add another $500,000 for cemeteries. So it's, you got it's $4.5 to $5 million budget that we're operating with. So it's no small task. And the $2 million, I told Keith this. I said, back in 1981, Peter Curry told Bob Stanley and I we had to raise $30,000 for the enterprise budget. 40 years later, we're raising $2 million. So it's pretty impressive task for the staff.
Well, you're doing a good job anyways, Bill.
Yeah, thank you. It's the whole staff is really working hard. Sam tries very hard because his pay is coming out of the enterprise budget now. So he tries to book everything as much as he can. So he keeps a job.
I didn't forget when you told me that.
Keeping our taxes down, Bill. Keep up the good work. The next one is Building a Strong Community Award.
Yep, we did it COVID style again. So we did it. The town council honored them. I asked them to come in different days. They came in when it was convenient for them to take pictures. We'll get their pictures up on the wall. The Herald did an article on it. I think I sent it out to you guys. So they got some good publicity. I can tell you that people feel good about the recognition. When Lauren Flood came in to take her picture, she just said, whatever we did last year, we're doing it again this year. Put us down. So it's a good way to encourage continued sponsorships.
Good job.
Yep, that's awesome.
The next item is renovation of 2 softball fields at the Newington High School.
Yep.
Some of you know I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. Paige Becker's visit to the community center.
Yes, some of you know or don't know, Paige Becker is a superstar for UConn. She's hurt now, but leading scorer, blah, blah, blah. She's the first woman to sign that college that you can get paid in college by a sponsor. We heard some crazy numbers. Gatorade paid like $3 million for her and to do TikToks and videos and YouTubes. Anyway, make a long story short, they rented the facility during COVID for $3,500 for the day. And they brought in 60 people from Los Angeles and Oregon, videographers, TV people. They brought in two truckloads of mirror balls and spotlights and all kinds of crazy stuff. And she went around and did they had 4 or 5 wardrobe experts, and they had some security people, and they had some wardrobe and makeup people. It was crazy. It was a great education for us. She signed the ball for us so that we could raffle it off and make some money for the youth sports. Just a fun day for us. It put Newington on the map again, and it opened up some doors for some future commercials to be made at our place. Everyone loved the sound system, and they loved the concrete bricks in the gymnasium that have slits in them, for those of you who don't know, and they're filled with foam. So it's like one of the only gyms where you yell in the gym and you don't get an echo. The roof has about 2 or 3 feet of foam in it to suppress the echo, and the walls have the suppression. So we're very proud of the final product of the community center, and other people think it's the best thing they've ever seen.
Bill, how did they find out about the gym?
They were surfing the internet, and a guy from South Windsor or Windsor Locks was a subcontractor of a subcontractor. He called us. We gave him some prices. He submitted. We were up against 5 other gymnasiums, and we lucked out because I think Don Woods will remember this. They loved the sound system, the walls, and they also loved the 5 windows that weren't in there. We fought at the last minute for windows. It
Yeah.
gave the photographer.
Oh boy, Don.
It gave the camera people natural lighting on her face, and they loved that aspect of it. And then we shut the full door, and they used complete darkness in the other side to do her face with colored lights. So I guess that's some of the reasons they explained to us.
Besides it being a terrific facility, period. Right? It's
Yep.
just a fantastic facility.
Everyone that has seen it loved it. I was in Cancun on vacation, and a Parks and Rec director in Rocky Hill texted me and said, "I'm here with my kid for the Nutmeg State Games basketball. This is the best facility I've ever seen." So, when you get another Parks and Rec professional that's evaluating it, it speaks volumes of what we did over there.
It feels good to hear things like that because we
Yeah,
all fought
yeah.
really hard to get this built.
Sure
No
is.
doubt about it.
That's for sure.
It was worth every fight, every bit of aggravation and ulcers and everything else that everybody went through. It is just, how they say, build it and they will come.
Mhm.
Where people are coming. I'll tell you, Elite Basketball is interested in renting out for a tournament. We've got Flood, some guy Flood is doing it. So we've got some really nice opportunities to really showcase Newington and make money at the concession stand. They can't believe the concession stand. Saturday, we opened up for 356 youth recreation basketball kids from 8 a.m. till 4. And if each kid had 2 parents, there's 1,000 people there, and people are buying hot dogs and pretzels and soft serve ice cream. I told Carol Graham, I said, "Don't worry about the ice cream machine. Nobody's going to buy ice cream till the afternoon." 10 kids lined up at 9:30 in the morning and bought ice cream cones. So I was wrong there, but we laughed all morning. It was so funny. So it's really fun. It's really fun. And 65 adult pickleball people, I think 85 to 100 adults for badminton every night on the once a week. So it's really getting used now, and
Being
it's
used, yeah.
great to see.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the renovation of 2 softball fields at Newington High School.
Yeah, I just want to recall your memories that a bunch of parents went to a Board of Education meeting the night before the budget was passed in Newington. We had these 2 things in the budget last year. However, they were one day early. They didn't know it. No communication. They were complaining, but I just want to let you know we renovated both girls softball fields at Newington High School with Dura Edge. It's the professional stuff they use in Major League Baseball. In the next month, I believe 2 concrete dugouts will be dropped in, precasted dugouts with a little utility room and some electricity. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous for the girls to play on. We're very, very excited, and we're happy the way it turned out.
Okay, next item is the renovation at Badger Field.
And the same thing, we had a few complaints about the Dust Bowl there, and that used to be a premier field for me when I was little playing on Badger Field. That was a big hit. So we dug out all the silt, put in Dura Edge there, put in sod on the infield and around the horn. We put in new irrigation, complete irrigation system. There was a little home dinky irrigation system. And I dug a trench all the way to right center field for a new scoreboard, and tied it back to the concession stand electricity. So we're working on trying to find some money to get that put in, a new scoreboard over there, and a new scoreboard at the soccer fields and lacrosse fields at the high school. So things are coming together in the park system. We're really, really pleased with what's going on.
Okay. Next is the installation of lights at Legends Field.
Yeah, I told you that. We've got 3 poles up. All the underground is done. All the electricity is done. The computer system to Iowa is hooked up. So all we're waiting for is if the town council approves the second half of the funding, we'll have them ordered. And I would suspect in July and August, we'll have the 3 poles up and have a full 90-foot baseball field finally lit. I think they've been trying to do it for 26 years, and this commission could be proud that they completed it.
Hey, Bill, just a quick question.
Yep.
You just talked about scoreboards at a couple other locations, but can you put on the radar like a scoreboard for that field? Because it's going to be state of the art, and that scoreboard is about 40 years old. It's really, and it's crooked. And I know I talked to you about it before, but I don't know what to do.
I apologize. I was wrong on what I reported. My
Oh.
plan was to put a new scoreboard at Badger, but the president and Trommer, what's his name? Not Jeff. Jim wants it at Legends Field for all the reasons you just said. So that's where it's going to go. Yep.
It just makes the most sense, especially with the rental opportunities.
Yep. Totally agree.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh, it's going to have a pitch count too. And it's going to have the 6-inch by 6-inch portable, so that you can move it around instead of having to be in the visitors area to do the scoreboard.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell Trommer to try Coca-Cola?
Okay.
Because those two scoreboards at Legend and Memorial were donated by Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Just a thought. I don't know if they still do it, but you know.
I'm thinking of going after Gatorade because now we have a relationship.
Oh, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, hiring of creative playtime preschool director.
I just wanted to let you know we advertised and recruited. We interviewed quite a few people, and we offered a job to a woman from Portland, Connecticut, and she's going to start February 7th. And she's got tremendous experience. She turned around a boys and girls preschool from a complete disaster in 15 years, turned it around to one of the most successful preschools in the country. In fact, China came and visited 5 preschools in the country, and Bristol's was one of them. So we're very excited about bringing on this new person.
And the last agenda item is new adult education offerings.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring to your attention, we're expanding out to, we met at our state conference, a company that does adult programming. And I just see it as a plus for us to add more programs. It's all done online. We get something like 25 or 30% of the take. We do the advertising and we do the registrations, and they provide the instructors and the computer system. But we do things, there's probably, 50 different new programs, and it's going to be coming out, but it does like healthcare. It does being a law assistant, being a pharmacy tech person, auto mechanic, welding, plumbing. It's quite impressive. So it's nothing that we're risking. And there's all we get all the profit from it from anyone that signs up. So we're going to try it as an experiment, see if it works.
Okay, do we have any public participation, Sam?
No.
Okay. Well, any comments from board members on anything?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment.
Go ahead.
Okay. I personally want to thank Jen. This is probably Jen's last meeting. She had told me prior to the meeting that she was not wanting to continue as a board member for whatever reasons, which I certainly respect and understand. But yet, when I called her to come to this meeting, she was right there for the call. She's been a terrific board member for many, many years. She's going to be missed. She texted me earlier that she still is willing to work on the extravaganza, which is a good thing. But personally, Jen, I can't say enough good things about you. You've been a terrific partner, a great personal friend, and I personally will miss you. I can tell you that.
Oh, thank you so much. Really enjoy being part of this team. And it's a really great team.
Thank you, Jen, for all your volunteerism. Great to have you aboard.
And if you change your mind, we'll always take you.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Good to
There you
know.
I echo Don's comments too. I've worked closely with Jen for a long time, and she's going to be greatly missed. And hopefully by a change of circumstance, maybe she comes back.
But there's always Jen Wynn Johnson Day, so you
Yeah,
never know.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, forget the 150th anniversary thing. This is,
There you go.
I'll bet more people will show up.
Well, I
Well,
feel like our proudest accomplishment is really seeing that community center building.
Yeah.
Being
You're
built.
right.
yeah,
You can always be proud of that because that's going to be there for the next 50 to 100 years. and-
Exactly.
yeah.
It start off really rough.
It's probably gonna outlive all of us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
well, Jen, whatever you do, congratulations and live life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And say hello to Michael.
I will.
Yep.
Thank you.
If there's any more business, I'd like a motion to adjourn this meeting. It's been a long one.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jen.
Second.
Yeah.
All
I'll
in
let Jen do
favor?
it.
Aye.
No, wait. You gotta, Jen, let's say Jen made the motion.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
There you go.
Second, okay. Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jen.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Melissa and Sam.
You're welcome, Bill.
Of course, anytime.
All right.
All right,
Talk
catch you tomorrow.
Talk to you in the morning.
Okay,
Sounds good.
bye.
Bye-bye.